Hello, Elaine. So let's look at your logo. So I'm going to move all this stuff over here. And we're going to pop your logo off of the main artboard. We're going to pop it over here so that we can look at it a little bit more here. Okay. So I think you have a really, really good start here, and I think that there's a couple things that we can do to fix this. No major fixes, just small little things to make this logo flow a little better and make it feel more like it's refined to a point that it's finished. Um, I apologize in this if I yawn and stuff. I didn't sleep real well, so I'm running on little to no fuel, and I'm doing my best. So the first thing that I'm going to do with your logo really quickly is that I'm going to group this piece together. And then I'm going to group your helix down here together. And then I'm going to remove your stuff here. And there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just trying to like separate it out into pieces. So with your double helix here, I want to bring this in, but I'm thinking that we need to tilt it a little this way. Oh, actually, before I do any of this, because I forgot to do something that I'm supposed to do, let's keep your original so we can compare. Okay, so we're going to put that over there. Now let's go back to doing what I was doing. I'm not feather-brained at all today. So we're going to grab this. We're going to set it over there. We're going to group this together so I have pieces, and I'm just going to leave that there. All right, so let's grab this. And what I'm thinking is right now your logo is leaning kind of that way. It's all going that way, but we want to read this way. So if we take this top part and we tilt it so that it goes this way, your eyes are led down this um instead of it kind of pulling in an odd way where it feels disjointed here. So this makes it feel more like it's one. Let's see here. Where'd you put your name in? Okay. I'm gonna pop this back in here because that's gonna tell me what I want to do here because I kind of want to pull this down a little bit. So I'm gonna grab all of these here and let's pull this down a bit more. Okay, so part of what that's going to do is it's going to allow me to have a little more space here. So see how close it is here, and it kind of feels a little disjointed and like the line doesn't go straight. If I put this negative space in right here, your eye can flow a little better up this way, which is really nice, and it just gives some extra space. Now, down here, I want to move this out a little bit more and this out a little bit more, which I know seems kind of strange and that might be a little too much. I just want to give a little bit more negative space there. Just because it opens it up a little and makes it feel a little like there's a little bit more space. I still might have just a little too much. I don't want a ton, just enough that it feels kind of equal to up here, because if we don't do that, it's not going to work. Okay, do you have... Nope, nothing is snapped. Okay. It just was moving funny. And it might just be I was too far away. Okay. Yeah, I think that's okay. Okay. Now that I'm done being persnickety about spacing. Oh, I don't know why I'm doing that way when I want to move it. Oh. And all I'm doing right now is just like playing with a couple things just to see how they'd look if I changed them. Let's remove some dots here. There we go. What would happen if I made this one short like the others? I think that's going to work really well being shorter because it plays down here, and then this is the only one that's long because it has words on it, and I think that just keeps some balance. I'm wondering if... Oop. I am doing really good at moving things the right way. Nope. Okay, wonder if it'd be better over here. Yeah, I think that works better. Okay, so we've got the general shape down now, and we've curved some things. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to go into this, and I'm going to suggest that we lower your stroke to a 2 on everything. Except for these. Except for these guys, which we can select easily. If we hold shift, we can select all of them, and then we can knock their stroke back up to 4. And the reason I'm suggesting this is it allows you to see some of the detail in your work a little better, and it where that's like a strong emphasis over here, it does dilute your work up here, and it's kind of distracting, whereas on this one it feels a little more gentle and it doesn't feel like it's kind of in your face. Something else I'm going to recommend is that we go in and we go to your stroke and we use more of a lighter gray. So this is 30, 30, 30. So let's grab that. And we're going to pop it in again. And what that does is, and I know on here it looks like it's a little, it looks a little bland. We're going to take your name and stuff out here real quick. Oh no, I forgot part of it. Joink. Okay. So if I pop this over on white, you can see that it helps your whole entire design come out more, opposed to it feeling like it's overpowered by the black. So let me move this really quick and we'll do a comparison beside of each other with another artboard. So let me grab your other piece. So you see how as soon as I put that down, the first thing you notice is the black. Whereas on this one, you notice that gradient a little more. It's a little more obvious. Whereas this one, the black is very much dominating. So if we use that really like that darker gray, it still looks like black, but it gives it a softer appearance so it doesn't feel as harsh. And with what you're doing, with what you're looking into here, softness is important. That kind of more gentle feel, not something that's like really super shocking. So this is an easy way to manipulate this and get it to feel a little softer without doing too many changes to what you're doing. Okay, let me grab this. And I love it that I forgot half the medicine word on this one, but that's okay. All right, so let's grab this and we'll put it back in, and I'm going to pop it behind, and we're going to change its color as well. And we're going to turn off this because we don't need it. All right, so there we go. Is that the correct color? It is. Good. Why do you keep coming up every time I click on colors? I think I'm going to close this tab group just so it stops harassing me. All right, so overall, I think that's really good. Let's look at your gradient really quick because I am well aware that gradients are very difficult in this. So let's see how. Okay, so you used a radial gradient. Can I actually get into your gradient maybe? Possibly. Wait, what are we doing here? Okay, so if I click on this, can I edit the gradient? Yes, okay. So, okay, I see what you're trying to do. Let's, oh, no. Okay, can I make another one of these? Yay. Okay, let's put him over here. So I'm assuming from what I'm seeing that you're trying to make it look the gradient flows from top to bottom, which is fine. So let's do this. Let's grab the edit gradient thing. So we can change this. So we can tilt this down. We can move it around. It has a lot of really cool options. So if we're wanting this gradient to feel like the gradient is changing along this, then what we're going to do is we're going to arrange this to do that. So I'm going to pull this up. And this thing can be really finicky, so just be aware that sometimes it's going to be a pain in the butt. So let's do that. I'm going to recommend that maybe we go for a bit of maybe a lighter green. I just think this will give some a little bit more of that softness kind of that we're looking for, and just a little bit more of like some contrast between the colors. So right now they blend really well, which is nice, but I feel like we could do a little more than that. So the number for this is 51C 0AC if you want to duplicate the color exactly. You can also just do something that's similar. You don't have to do exactly the colors I'm stating. I'm just kind of trying to give you some options. Okay. And let's do the same. Oh, I don't need both of you. And I'm also going to do a thing down here. So this is the easiest way to keep up with your colors if you're trying to do... Okay, I need to leave the black outline. Trying to keep what colors you're using is it's to just make color blocks at the bottom. So I'm going to duplicate this by holding Alt and clicking and moving it. And then once I choose a blue for my gradient, I am going to take that blue color's hex code and I'm going to post it so that I can remember what it is. So I don't want to go too dark, but I also don't want to be like neon either. I think that might be a really nice bright blue. Okay. Brighter blue. All right, so let's open that up. So its number is 8ED8F8. So there we go. Okay, and the reason I did that is that I'm going to have to fix the gradients on all of these. So it's easier if I just have the colors and I can use the eyedropper tool. So we don't actually need the blue in that. We only need green at the bottom and blue at the top. So let's look at the gradient that you have. Okay, so let's turn this. And we can adjust where things are. So if you need this to be a little higher. So you see I have the eyedropper tool here. Is it going to let me use it? Yep. Okay, so if I select this one, I can grab that color. And we want to go back into editing the gradient, even though it's telling me no. So this allows you to be able to line up this so that it actually flows together better and it kind of fades in and out at the same spots, which is what I'm assuming you were trying to do. Gosh. Okay, so again, let's select the green or the blue, change it, grab that one. And then we can do the same thing with this that we were doing with the other one, is that we can pull which end has the circular thing. Okay, so whichever end allows you to turn, so it'll bring up that circle icon, that's the end that you can stretch to move where things are. So if we go across, our green kind of needs to be up there, our blue can go down a little, and we have that. Oh, and I clicked in the wrong place, so don't do that. Okay, so now our bottom part looks like it flows a little bit better. It also stands out a little bit more, which I think is a good thing, and it kind of goes with that gentler vibe. Now, for this guy, this is going to be difficult. My suggestion for this is not to gradient that part, to instead grab a particular color. So I personally would probably go with your blue. So make the middle blue. And then what we can do is we can have all of the gradients come off of that. So let's grab this one first. So let's grab our gradient. We're going to do our eyedropper tool again. And we're going to grab these. So we've changed those. So let's go in here. Which end is it that spins? Okay, so it's this one. And we can move this a little. So we're going to have it go kind of the same direction that our piece is going. So like that. And then we can pull this blue in wherever you want. So you can adjust this to how much it fades and where it fades and that kind of thing. And we have a pretty long piece, so if you wanted to, you could do it however you wanted. But I'm going to go through and do each of these so that it kind of all flows together. Which one am I on? Green, blue. And I'm just going to go through and edit the gradients. And I know I keep clicking on things, which means I have to click back, but it's kind of the process. Okay. that's kind of flowing with that piece. So we're gonna want this down a little further. And some pieces are gonna be more green than they are blue. We can just leave like a little bit of blue to give that hint that, you know, it's still a part of that. I keep grabbing the wrong. Okay, stop it. All right, so we don't need the white in this one. Let's grab this. That's your green. That's your blue. All right. Oop. Give me that. Stretch that up to there. Let's pull that in. There we go. I will one day select the right selection tool. One day. Okay. Ah, okay. So that's how I turn that off without going through a billion things. Oop, we need to go in this way. Okay. Oop. Control Z is our friend. Okay, I might need to turn that one a little more. Okay. Is it because I'm in the layers? Okay. Nope. Where's my gradient thing now? Fun. Okay, we're gonna back up a little because I don't know what this has done. Ah, there we go. There's the piece I want. So if you lose things, just try to Command Z until they come back. Sometimes things just get messed up in Illustrator. Even I freak out about them. So if you've lost something for some reason, don't feel too bad about it. You can refind it, I promise. I'm debating on this one to create another one of these and put it kind of on the end. And not really have much of it. I don't need the one in the middle there. But I don't know. I don't know if I need that. Just kind of debating the issue. Okay, we'll see how that goes. All right, let's grab this one. And we're going to continue to adjust our colors. So I'm going to select that one. That's our green. That's our blue. And let's turn that off. And we're going to go in here. We're going to turn it this way because we need our blue in the middle. Okay. And I might even tilt this one a little more. Yeah, I think that works. Okay. And then we only have one more. So let's get to editing this gradient. Bring up my gradient screen. Okay. So boop. Green. And a blue. Nope. Can we grab the other one now? Cool. Oh, I need to just turn that off. Okay, so let's find out which end of this spins. This one. Okay. It 'tis the season for gnats. And once you've got the general kind of thing down, I would go in because like I currently don't like how this part looks compared to the other. So you're going to go in and you're going to adjust your gradient as needs be because sometimes it's just what you have to do. So we're going to pull this up a little, give this a little bit more. And then I'm going to need to go in and adjust this one. So we're going to go in, edit gradient. And what we're going to do is we're just going to pull this up a little bit more. Okay. And I think this one kind of needs the same done. And you can do it here if you want. I just kind of prefer doing it on these because I feel like I have a little more visual control. But do it however works best for you. So yeah, I think that that's a little bit of a better idea because then you have a center and you're kind of going out and it's gonna need tweaks. So I'm gonna go back in here and I'm actually gonna move this up a little bit more. So basically all of these kind of feel like the blue kind of like is a part of like the edge, but the main part of them is green. So I want to make sure that blue bit comes in, but the tips are green. So it's like this one has too much blue in it. And it may actually need to be tilted a little differently. Yeah, I think that'll help. So these are just little things you're going to go in and kind of adjust around and find out where you want things and how you want them. And kind of just getting it to look more like every piece fits together correctly. And it's a lot of like finagling little things. So just know that, you know, if it's not perfect the first time, that's fine. You just have to go in and kind of just change things around until they work. So I think that works pretty well because you've got the green on the outside and the blue on the inside, and it almost makes it feel more like it's a flower, which is kind of an interesting idea because I know that a lot of organizations, when you go and have tests done like mammograms and that kind of stuff to help like look at whether there are signs of cancer, stuff like that, that they give you flowers afterwards. So that's kind of like a nice throw towards that. Also, flowers are very pleasant. They're very happy and they remind us of good things. And judging by what you said in class and stuff, that is what you want to do. So that's another way to add that into this. So now that we've gotten all that done, so you don't have a lot to edit, it's little tiny things, nothing major. I think you've done like a really fantastic job with this. We're going to go and look at Adobe Fonts. So this is Adobe Fonts. I'm going to go to our homepage. So let's go to, I don't know why it's being a pain. So we're going to go to Browse All. All right. So Adobe Fonts is this fabulous place that has tons and tons of fonts, and we can look at all kinds of different things within them. So over here, we have some different types of fonts we could pull from. We can also do a sans serif, serif, slab serif. There's all kinds of options, and there's more options down here. So I want to say maybe we should look at friendly fonts first, and I'm going to get a book out because I have to write these down because I cannot remember the names because they're kind of everywhere. And see what we can find. My first suggestion is actually going to be this one, which is the Roca. So if you want to try the font, you just click Add Family, and it'll add it. You can see down here, it's telling me that it's putting it in my stuff. So I'm going to write this one down. Another nice thing is that if we click into this font, you can type things in here. So, where's Illustrator? You had Miranda's Nuclear Medicine. Miranda's Nuclear Medicine. So you can type in what you're wanting to write so you can see how your text would actually look. And this is really fantastic because sometimes we're looking for readability and the font may look really good the way they wrote it, but with the letters that you're using, it may not. So like on another person's project, they had an A and an R that were right beside each other and they had used a script font. So I was looking for script fonts for them, which is like more like a cursive font. And the A and the R together in a lot of script fonts, the R wasn't readable as an R. And for her audience, that was a really big problem because they wouldn't really know how to decipher cursive as well as someone who's used it a lot. So it was kind of me going, okay, we need to decide on something different for that. But this one I think is really nice. So Roca's on the list. Let's see what else we got in here. Da, 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 da. Costa might be a good font, so let's write it down. And I'm actually going to take the one beside of it as well, the word I can't pronounce. just because it's a little different from what you had used, but I think that it might be an interesting thing to try. So let's grab both of those. Let's see what else we got here. So you can go through any of the fonts on here. They're all free. They're all available to you. Anything it brings up, excuse me, in Adobe Fonts is available. So you can kind of look through this and choose lots of different fonts if you want to go through. And then I'll show you with the ones that I choose here how to go through and kind of compare them. So if it ends up that you don't like any of the fonts I chose, you can come in here and look for some different ones. That's fine. I'm just trying to give you a general idea of what I think that I would probably use. Let's go for Bree. And I'm going to grab Informa as well. Just because they're a little different. And I might actually grab this one too. So Filson. I want to go over here though, and I want to choose geometric because I want to see if maybe it gives us some interesting options that are different from what we're looking at already. I think Mundale might be an interesting one, or Mundile. Add. Oh, I didn't want to go in there. Hmm. The underground might be interesting as well. Okay. Okay, I think that might be enough. But feel free to look through this if for some reason the ones that I've chosen aren't really something that you're looking at. I'm going to grab one more here because I see one that I really think might work. So I also chose this one here, the Bicyclette. Probably mispronouncing that miserably, but here we are. Hey, get down, baby. It's not dinner time yet. I know it's 2 minutes away, but you'll live. I'm also talking to my cat, who is like, Mommy, it's nearly 6 o'clock. Okay, I think I got all the ones we wanted. Okay, so we're going to go into Illustrator. And what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to remove this and pull it back over here. I'll line it back up with medicine. Here we go. I'm going to move our little blocks down here over too. And I am going to make a text box down here that just says Miranda's. And I've already forgotten nuclear medicine. Major brain fail. Alright, so we're going to make this about 60 so we can see it. And we are going to stretch it to where it is all in one line. Okay, cool. And then I'm going to make multiple of these. And then we're going to pull them over here. And make one more over here. Okay. Yes, Mr. Nix, I know. Calm down, buddy. You'll live, I promise. Alright, so we're going to go in and okay, I'll have to look at that in a minute. Sorry. Okay, so let's go in through here, and I think that I'm going to go with the black just because it's a nice look. Let's make this a little smaller so it all fits. Come here, buddy. Do you want to help me? You can help me with the font. How's that sound? Until I'm done. Then you can have dinner, okay? So let's go with Costa. My other cat is upset that he's not getting dinner immediately because mommy is busy. You'll live, buddy, I promise. You'll survive. You are far from skinny. Chill out, bud. Chill out. Come on. Let me do my work. Okay. I'm almost done, okay? So let's go for that one. You can't knock stuff over, buddy. I know that sounds like a ton of fun, but it's not, okay? Oop, wrong thing. So let's go for Informa. Let's see here. So a lot of these will have multiple families or members. So I call them members of families. So they're the different ones here. And what I'm looking at is whether I like them when they're bolded or if they just look okay like in their medium forms. And some of them I'm not going to use all the families just because it's a lot to like try and do. And I'm sorry if there keeps being a Windows noise. I keep forgetting I'm on a Windows computer and thinking I'm working with Macs. So I'm pressing the wrong buttons while also trying to hold on to a kitty cat. Yeah, you're making life hard. You're being a pain. Are we in Informa? No, we were in Filson. Okay, let's look at the soft black for this one. Bold. I think we'll go for the bold on that one. So basically all I'm doing is just going through each each font and picking out what in it I think will work. And that way, did the Mundial not download? It also helps me to know if fonts have downloaded properly because sometimes they don't. So I have to go back in and re-download. Yeah, so this one I either forgot or it didn't download. Let's go with both of these. Okay. Okay. And okay. All right, there we go. There we go. Hey, buddy, chill out. You're fine. You get back on the ground if you want. Okay, let's go with that one. You just want to harass mommy. That's what you want. Isn't it? Okay, I think we might go with the bold as well. What else do we have? We have P22 Underground. Oh. Hey, buddy. Buddy, stop sitting on my keys, okay? You're making this take longer. Okay. The P22 may not actually work because that's not what it was showing. Oh, that's P22 Allison. So is it just an underground? Okay, did that one not download either? I may have forgotten to. Okay, maybe I forgot to select that one. Are you gonna load? Maybe? I'm doing good. Come on, buddy. Come back here. No dancing on my keyboard, alright? Mommy needs her keyboard. I know you don't think so, but P22. There we go. petite caps. So this one has some interesting things in that it has different like types of capitals. So that's something to look at as well. I actually kind of like that one. Okay, so we're gonna stick with that one in that group. You can try some of the others as well if you want. And we're gonna go with bicycle. Goodbye, buddy. Maybe now I can actually get this done. Okay. So I know this is several like fonts and it seems like a lot, but it's not going to actually be that much in the end. Okay. So the reason I've done this is this allows me to visualize the fonts while looking at your logo. So I can kind of figure out what I think will work best. I don't particularly like this one. I feel like it's a little too childish with all like the curves and stuff. And I kind of feel the same way about that one. So then I'm just going to keep moving these all up together, which allows me to kind of look at them all as a group and kind of decide how I feel about them. I know that I really like this one. I think this one has a nice feel to it. And it feels very kind of like business-like. That's what I'm looking for. And reassuring, really. Not a massive fan of that one. Just doesn't quite look as whatever. So I'm going to put this one up here. That's one of my go-tos. I kind of like that one as well. So normally I try to get 3 or 4 fonts. I think this one might work as well. And I think that's really all in this group that I'm going to keep. Okay, so normally I just put the fonts over to a side and I keep them because you never know, you might change your mind. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull these down here. I am going to get rid of this artboard. And I'm going to duplicate this artboard because it's going to duplicate your artwork, which is really nice for me. And I'm going to move this one a little. Okay, not too far. Yeah, let's put it right about there. Okay, cool. Stop it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all 3 of these. I'm going to go to type and I'm going to go to create outlines so that each of them has their own outline. Which actually, I take that back. I'm going to duplicate these first. And then I'm going to turn them into outlines. Because I will, without a doubt, mess something up and need them to be different. So let's shrink this, kind of turn it to match the line. And we're going to snug that up, and then we're going to go in and we're going to grab this line and we're going to pull it in. Buddy, I've got to finish this, okay? Go on. Cats, aren't they lovely? I don't know, that feels so small to me. I'm wondering if I have an idea. And I'm wondering if it might work a little better for your name, for your stuff. Okay, I don't want that, and I don't want that. So I also don't want that. Let's pull this, actually, let's just back up a little. Okay. So, what I'm thinking is doing these separately on your stuff. So, let's group this. That'll work better for me. Because I'll stop butchering the letters. Group. Okay. So instead of having this really long line here that feels kind of, it feels really different from everything else. Oop. Why don't we instead do this? Oop. Still trying to destroy the letters. Oh, they're all still grouped. Actually, I wonder... Oh, nope. I just wanted to duplicate it. I actually wonder if that's a better idea for it because this thing is going to enrage me. No, I only want this piece. I'm wondering if that actually might be the best solution for your name here, because this makes it more prominent, so you have more space, and it feels like it's just sitting within what you've created, and it gives it more of a pulled together feel. Because before it was a little bit hard to see what you had written, but this just feels like it's kind of nestled into your piece already. So I think that might be the best idea actually, um, instead of what we had before. So I'm actually just going to duplicate this really quickly because then I know where the letters need to go. And we can try that for each one with these different fonts that we've chosen. Okay, yeah, these. Sorry, I got confused for a moment by what these were, and then it occurred to me that they're my duplicates so that in case I messed up, I have spare. Okay, so let's group these. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab these, and we know we're going to center them like this. And I'm going to do this because that will organize them. And then this one I'm going to ungroup as well. And we're going to group this one, and we're going to group this one. We're going to group this one. And then we're going to pop them under each other. And I'm going to center them, and then I'm going to make sure they're even though they need to be a little closer. Doink, doink. There we go. Okay. So let's pull this out. We're going to grab this and put this in. We're going to shrink it a little so that it fits. Oop. Come on, give me all three. I need them all. And we're just going to resize it to fit because the fonts are going to fit differently. They're different. They're made differently. So each one's going to fit a little differently. So let's grab this one. Pull it up here. Pop it in there. And yeah, I think that really balances out what we were trying to do, and that's not what I'm supposed to do. Okay, let me slap all this stuff over yonder. So I do want to show you these compared to this one. So I really think you had a really nice design to start out with, and you made it really easy on me to edit this out or edit this so that it comes together a little better. So I want you to look at them and you can see how this one really feels like it's encompassed and like it's complete and everything fits into it nicely. We can read the font better. We know exactly what this is for. And it all just kind of feels like it fits together a little better. Also, with the upward tilt instead of going out, it feels a little more comforting and a little more reassuring. So that's something to look at as well. So I'm going to move this over here. I'm going to continually disconnect this word for fun. So these are the three options that I'm presenting to you. I think all of the fonts look really nice. I think this is a really good way to change the logo so it feels more connected, feels like it's a finished piece, and has the balance that you're looking for. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. I'd be happy to answer them. And overall, this was a fantastic logo, and you just needed a few tweaks to make it really just stand out and feel finished.